Okay, good morning, guys. Are you guys ready? Yeah. Okay, so today we're going to read Unit 4, Malala-Stronger Than the Violence. But before that, let's do some quick vocabulary check, okay? So I'll have 3 questions for you, and each one I'll give you a definition, and you have to tell me what it is and spell it, okay? So first one, my first question. It's a noun and starting with B, okay? So it's a behavior that can harm people physically or mentally. What is that? Guys, please close your book. Close your books, okay? What is that? A behavior that can mentally or physically harm people. Do we have any volunteers? Okay. Violence, good job. And how to spell violence?
Violence.
Great, good job. Okay. My second question is an adjective starting with E. Starting with E. The definition is the same as something. Any volunteers? Equal, that's right. Equal. So how do we spell equal? E-Q-U-A-L. Good job. Okay, my last question is an adverb starting with W. Okay, so it means in every part of the world. In every part of the world. What is that? It's an adverb. Worldwide, excellent, worldwide. And how to spell worldwide? W-O-R-L-D-E. W-I-D-E. Excellent, guys. Okay, so now let's take a look at a short video clip of Malala. Okay, this is when Malala got shot. What do we have? Uh-oh. Someone, come on and help me. Anyway, you can see Malala was shot and she was bleeding in the hospital. And you can see many doctors are surrounded.
It lodged in her neck. Malala was then airlifted to the UK for protection after the Taliban vowed to finish the job. Her father says she's recovering well, showing concern for 2 friends who were also injured in the attack.
And then she also asked her mother, again, how are the 2
This
other
is Malala's
girls,
father, the principal.
Shazi and Kainat? She inquired about their health, and she told me on phone that please bring me my books of class 9 and I take my examination in Swan.
Doctors say Malala is weak, but stands every chance of a good recovery.
All signs of infection are now gone. We're pleased to say. Really got back to the phase of her coach on recovery, both physical and psychological.
Malala began standing up to the Taliban when she was 11. The government had just effectively ceded control of the Swat Valley, where she lives, to the radical group. She's since become a powerful symbol of resistance to the Taliban's effort to deny women an education. And her father says she'll continue to pursue those dreams, dispelling reports the family might seek asylum abroad. But with very real threats from the Pakistani Taliban to kill Malala, it may not be safe for her to return to her home country anytime soon. Liz Dunkley, Al Jazeera.
Okay. So before this short clip, So do you know who Malala is before this? Raise your hand. You've heard of Malala? No one? Okay, so basically, Malala is an influencer living in Pakistan. Okay, and she works really hard to fight for the girls' right to education. Okay, so after today's class, you will learn how strong Malala is. Okay, next. So I just told you this story happened in Pakistan. So do you know which one is Pakistan? Is it the left one or the right one? The left one is surrounded by Iran, Afghanistan, China, India, or the right one, surrounded by Syria, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. Take a guess. Left one or right one? Who is good at geography? Yes and how? Want to take a guess? Yeah, left one or right one? Okay, let's see. That's right, that one is Pakistan. Everyone, please keep it up in hand, okay? Good one. Okay, so left one is Pakistan, and what about the other one? It's Palestine. Palestine is where Christians consider it a sacred place, a holy place. Okay, 基督教他们觉得 Palestine 这个巴勒斯坦是圣地。Alright, so now please turn to page 78. Okay, so I'll read the program. Okay, so none of the 14 female students paid any attention when their school bus stopped. On the crowded roads of Pakistan, such stops were common. Okay, please underline none of. And let's compare neither of and none of. What's the difference? If the subjects are two, there are only two subjects, we use neither of. But if the subjects are three or over more than three, we should use none of. So obviously there are 14 female students, we use none of, okay? And please here underline such. What does such mean? Such means that kind of. Okay, so here comes the question. So why is it common when there's school bus stop? Why? Why is it common? I mean, 14 female students didn't even pay attention. Why is that? Do we got any volunteers? Why? Come on, take a guess. Take a shot. Okay. That's right, because roads are crowded. Excellent. Because the roads, crowded roads of Pakistan, such stops were common. So it's very common. It's not weird, okay? Because probably many pedestrians are on the roads and sometimes traffic jams, probably. Okay. And next, suddenly a man wearing a mask hopped on the bus and asked, which one is Malala? No one dared to reply, but a few of the students looked toward 50-year-old Malala Yousafzai. Okay, here, please bracket wearing a mask. Bracket wearing a mask. And write down VING present participle above wearing. Write down VING, which means 现在分词 above wearing. And this is a present participle phrase to describe a man. Okay. It is originally a man who was wearing a mask. And we simplify it. And we are not allowed to put a verb here because there are already two verbs, talked and asked, with one conjunction. So you cannot put the verb here. Okay? And please underline toward. Toward is a preposition, 介系词. It means to one direction. To one direction. 朝向. And next, please underline 15-year-old. It's a compound adjective, 复合形容词. So every time we see compound adjective, something like dash, dash, we are not allowed to put s right here. Okay, no s. So here comes the question. What happened? What happened here? What happened? What happened? When the bus stopped, what happened? Right, the man shot Malala in the head. And before that, he hopped on the bus and shot her. Okay, good job. So the man actually asked those female students. He asked, which one is Malala, right? So did those female students tell the man? No, but what did they do? They all looked toward Malala's outside. So because maybe they were scared of being harmed. But they didn't tell him. They didn't tell him. Okay, excellent. And moving on, the man shot her in the head and then hopped off and disappeared. Blood dripped from Malala's head and her body fell to the floor. Okay, please here underline shot her in the head. So it's a collocation. That is, shoot somebody in one's body part. Shoot somebody in one's body part. So obviously, the man got away easily, and did he get arrested? Did the man get arrested? 他有被逮捕吗? No, he didn't get arrested. Okay, so I have a question. Did Malala die in the end? No. Why? No, because it's only the first paragraph, right? 才第一段而已. So, and that's right. Malala didn't die here. Okay, so let's see what happened next. The beautiful city where Malala grew up came under Taliban rule in 2008. From then on, girls had been forbidden to attend school, and over 100 girls' schools had been blown up. Okay, here, guys, please bracket where Malala grew up. Bracket here, where Malala grew up. And it's a adjective clause, 这是一个形容词子句, which is used to describe a place, the beautiful city. Okay? So every time we try to describe a place, we can use where. Okay? And we can also change where into in which. And moving on, under Taliban rule, it's a phrase. What does that mean? Under somebody rule, it means somebody take control of something. So Taliban is an evil organization. They do bad things. And this beautiful city is under Taliban rule. And next, please underline had been forbidden and had been blown up. So it's past perfect tense, 过去完整式. And when can we use past perfect tense? 什么时候用过去完整式? When we try to describe the things before the text. So in the first paragraph, we knew that Malala got shot, okay? But before that, girls had already been forbidden to go to school. Before that. And also, schools had been blown up before Malala got shot. So before the past, we use past perfect tense, 过去完成式. And it is special because we see being right here, right? So if you see being in the past perfect tense, means it is in passive voice, 是被动. Had been forbidden, had been blown up. And finally, you see girls' school. It's possessive, 所有的. So if the noun after that is, if the possessive is plural, 如果是复数, the apostrophe 这个撇 should be after s, that is the whole. It is plural. Alright. And moving on, however, Malala's father, the school principal, urged her to stay in school in her teenage years. But many Pakistani women got married and stayed home. Okay, so each time when you see however, it means the tone will change. And here, please write down 同位语 under the school principal. Write down a positive 同位语. It is used to describe Malala's father, so he is a principal. And here, please bracket when many Pakistani women got married and stayed home to home right here. It is an adjective clause, 形容词句, which is used to describe her teenage years, to describe a period of time. And likewise, you can change when into in which. Okay, so here comes a pretty easy question. What did Pakistani women do in their teenage years? What did Pakistani women do in their teenage years? Do we got any volunteers? Any volunteers? Come on. Okay.
They got married and stayed home.
That's right, excellent. Many Pakistani women got married and stayed home in Malala's teenage years. Okay, beautiful. Good job. Moving on, he means Malala's father, the principal. He also encouraged her to discuss education and politics, subjects usually reserved for boys. Thus, Malala believed that no one could take away others' right to education. She then became a voice for equality for the female students. Alright, here, please bracket, usually reserved for boys. And right now, past participle PP above reserved. But first of all, what does reserved mean? Reserved. So if you want to go to a fancy restaurant, you need a phone call, and you need to reserve the table, right? Reserve means you ask somebody to leave something for you. Okay, so leave something for boys. And here, this is present participle phrase used to describe subjects. So education, 教育, and politics, 政治学, they are really for boys. Girls are not allowed to study. And here, when you see those, there are some cause and effects. There are some reasons and the consequences. Alright. Moving on, please bracket that no one could take away others' right to education. So is it an adjective clause or noun clause? 是形容词子句还是名词子句？ Yeah, just write it down right here. 这是名词子句。It means one thing, and it's usually an object for the verb. So she believed no one could take away others' right to education. Please underline right to. So right to education, it means you have the right to study. You have the right to be educated. It's a collocation, right to something. And finally, voice right here means speaker. Someone who speaks up for something. Okay, here comes the question. Why did Malala become the voice for equality? Why? She believed in what?
That one could take away.
Yeah, that's right. No one could take away others' right to education. So she then became a voice because she studied, but the rest of the girls, they didn't get a chance. So she became a voice for equality. Okay, good job. Moving on, Malala started writing a blog about her life in 2009 when she was 12. Although these annoyed Taliban leaders, she continued speaking out about girls' educational rights. She was even interviewed on national television. Okay. So first of all, please repeat when she was 12. It's an adjective clause, 形容词句, used to describe the time, 2009. And likewise, you can change it into in which. And next, was even interviewed is in a passive voice, 被动词 PP. And what does even mean? Even means above your expectation, 超过你的预期. So she was even interviewed on national television, 甚至被人采访. So the question is, what does this mean in line 2? What does this mean? That's right. Writing a blog about her life in 2009. Okay, so Malala writing a blog about her life in 2009, and this stuff really annoyed Taliban leaders, and she probably spoke ill of Taliban. Okay. Alright, next. When her story became known, the Taliban threatened to kill her. On October 9th, 2012, a gunman got on her school bus and shot her in the head. Okay, so the timeline is traced back to the first paragraph, right? Remember, she was shot. And with a lot of her classmates. And here, please write down famous. Known here means famous. It's an adjective. And you can circle the preposition on. When you try to describe an exact time point, we use on. 特定的时间. And here, shot her in the head. I just mentioned that. Shoot somebody in one's body part. Alright. Unbelievably, the brave girl survived the surgery at a local hospital and finally recovered in Britain after further treatment. Her struggle attracted the whole world's attention. So, what does further treatment mean? Further treatment means in order to help the body recover better, it means more body checkups, more cures, more medications. So the question is, did Malala die? No. How do you know? How do you know Malala? Yes, excellent. Because the brave girl survived. Survive means live, right? Survive the surgery. Surgery means operation. So, did Malala die? No, she didn't die. Okay. And her struggle means effort, 她努力挣扎奋斗. Her efforts attract the whole world's attention. So that's why she was interviewed by television. Moving on, all this attention persuaded the Pakistani government to introduce a new policy that provided equal educational rights. Okay, so here please bracket that providing equal educational rights is an adjective clause which is used to describe the noun before that. And the real verb is persuaded, means talk somebody into doing something. And to introduce, it is not a verb, it is infinitive. Sorry, this is 不定词. Infinitive, 不定词 means one thing. Two thing means one thing, 不定词. I hope. So here comes the question. What did Pakistani government do in response of Malala's supporters? What did Pakistani government do to respond to Malala's supporters? Okay, so do you know what introduce right here mean? Do you know what that means? Introduce. This is nothing to do with introduce yourself. It is about it's about releasing something new, coming up something new. Okay, releasing something new. 去引进. Okay. So what did they do? What did the government do? Yeah, that's right. Introduce a new policy, 新的政策. And what is it about? It's about providing equal educational rights. 提供这个教育性的权。Okay, moving on. Soon after, the Malala Fund was established to give strength and confidence to girls all over the world through education. In 2014, at the age of 17, Malala won the Nobel Peace Prize. She was the youngest person to ever win this prize. Okay, here please underline through. Through is a preposition, means doing something in a certain way. 后果. And underline at the age of 17. When you want to describe the exact age, the exact time point, we say at the age of, and the age. So Malala is very strong and powerful. She was the youngest person ever. Means no one is ever the youngest person before me. Okay, so the question is, what does fund mean and what is Malala Fund for? So what does fund mean in Chinese? Fund. 基金会, right? 基金会 or 基金. So what is fund for? What is fund for? 基金会干嘛？ You can use Chinese or English. Yeah, they offering money, right? They offering money to help someone achieve their goals. 帮助的达成他目标。That's how 基金会 works. And what is Malala Fund for? Take a guess. What is Malala Fund for? Do you know what Malala Fund for?
Girls education.
Yeah, girls' education. So, Malala Fund is for encouraging female students to pursue their study. Okay, 去追求他们的进修，去学习。Moving on, during the speech delivered by Malala at the United Nations, she shared these wise and powerful words with the world. Let's pick up our books and pens. Okay, here please bracket delivered to United Nations. And write down PP, past participle, above delivered. This is a past participle phrase used to describe a speech. And it is originally a speech which was delivered by Malala at the United Nations. Okay, and moving on. Please underline share with. It's the collocation. You share something with somebody. So she shared the wise and powerful words with the world. People in the world. And finally, underline let us pick. It's a causative verb. 实义动词. It should be followed by an object and verb root. It is actually an infinitive. But when you try to describe the object actively doing something, you use 原 be that 加受词加原 be. Simple question. Where did Malala deliver her speech? Where? United Nations. And what is that in Chinese? United Nations. 联合国, good job. Okay. Moving on, they are our most powerful weapons. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. What do they mean? They. What are they? Do you remember? What are they? Should be books and pens, right? Books and pens. So, why are pens and books the most powerful weapon? What? Want to take a shot? Why? That's what? Yeah, because knowledge is power. Because books can help us. Books can offer us information we need. And what about pens? Pens, we can use pens to take notes and to memorize well. And how do people change the world with a teacher and a book? So, you just answered my question. So, like what you said, knowledge is power. So we can use knowledge to change the world in a better way. Okay. So that's today's class. Got any question? If no, then please you got the worksheet right here? A worksheet. And you have to do last week, right? Okay, so you finish the worksheet, guys? Then higher is counting. Got worksheet? Okay, so these questions I would like to ask you guys, and you have to answer in English, okay, obviously. So the first question, what happened to Malala in paragraph 1? What happened to Malala? We have Aisha. What happened to Malala in paragraph 1? She was shot, great, and then? Yeah, she was shot and fell to the floor. Good job. And what about my second question? What did Malala's father urge her to do in her teens, in her teenage years? And we have Yadowei. What did Malala's father urge her to do in her teenage years?
Again, please.
Okay, so what did Malala's father urge her to do in her teenage years? Maybe we can check on the slide. Her father asked her to do what? Stay in school and do what? Just stay in school? Study, stay in school for study. Okay, that's right, everyone. Stay in school for study in her teenage years. And that's the answer. And next question. How did Malala annoy Taliban leaders? How did Malala annoy Taliban leaders? We got any volunteers?
She started writing a blog about her life.
Yeah, she started writing blog about her life. Excellent. That's the answer. And what about number 4? What did Malala's daughters do after she was shot and injured? What did they do? What did they do to root for Malala? Because Malala's effort and her struggle inspired them. And what did they do? You got any volunteers? How about Zhen Yulian? Are you shocked? Yeah, number 4. What did those supporters do? Maybe you want to check on this slide. What do they do? Yeah, they persuaded the Pakistan government to introduce a new policy. Good. And moving on, according to Malala's speech, what are those powerful weapons? What are those? What are those? Books and pens, great, and why? Yeah, because knowledge is power. Good. And number 6, what would you like to say to Malala if you meet her in person? What would you like to say to Malala if you meet her in person? She's still alive, obviously, she's alive. So probably one day you'll meet her eventually. Do we have any volunteers? Okay, what do you think? Good.
I think when I meet her, I will tell her that you are very glad and awesome.
You will tell her what?
Tell her.
Come on, go on. Great.
Tell her very friend also.
Everyone, please give a big hand. Okay, so Amy just mentioned if he meets Malala one day and he will tell her that she is a brave and awesome woman, right? That's what you mean, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So, any volunteers? Question number 6. Question 6. You want to take a shot? What about Yao Yungjie? What will you do and what would you like to say to Malala if you meet her in person? Yeah, she used to be a good teenager, that's right. She used to be a good teenager, and now she is a woman and she got married. Okay, but thanks for your answer. Everyone, please give her a big hand, please. Okay, excellent. So, moving on to question number 7. Boys and girls are required to display show certain behaviors owing to gender stereotype. And what are those? You can start in with people expect boys or girls to do something. Okay.
People expect girls to be tender.
Sorry, come again. Girls.
So people expect girls to be tender.
Oh, people expect boys to be independent, right? Excellent. Everyone, please give him a big hand. So yeah, mostly, especially in Chinese culture, boys are expected to be independent. Okay, and any volunteers? I will show a lot. Okay. 问例题。Uh-oh. What's your answer? Do you want to share your answer with us? Sorry, come again. People expect girls to be shy, to be kind. Really? Okay, so people expect girls to be kind. Yeah, but boys are not equal. Okay. All right. So please give her a big hand. And what else? We got any volunteers about number 7? Okay, what do you do?
People expect girls to be good at cooking, quantity, and they want him first.
Okay, so people expect girls to be good at what?
Cooking.
Oh yeah, that's right. People traditionally people expect girls to be good at cooking. That's right. And what else? What else?
And washing dishes.
Washing dishes, really?
Yeah.
And people expect girls to wash dishes. So will you help your girlfriend wash dishes? If you get married one day?
Of course.
Of course not. Of course not. Of course. Okay. So he's a kind man. See, boys are kind. Okay. The last question. Have you asked to do or not to do something because of your gender? How did you feel about this? Share your experience with the class. I would like to draw a lot. In no way. Okay. It's a pleasure for me. want to do something?
As a boy, I often ask to be stronger.
You often ask to be what?
Stronger.
Oh, yeah. But traditionally, boys are asked to be stronger. You have to work out to build muscles, right? That's what traditionally boys have to do. And what else? Who want to share his or her idea with us? How about Montaigne? As a girl, you are asked to do housework, to do house chores, 来做家事. But did you do that? Yeah, oh, you're very kind. And you actually did the house chores. Okay. Everyone, please give her a hand. And one volunteer, okay? Can we have Hong Xin? Yeah, okay, so that's a good one. So as a girl, you are asked to be kind, to be conservative, but not to be too aggressive, right? You can't just get everything you want. You have to be more gentle, and you give your things or stuff to boys. Do you have brothers, elder brothers, younger brothers? Okay. Okay, so that's all for our today's class. And you got any questions so far? Okay, so that's all, guys. Please give you guys